The title race is heating up. From disappointment at Goodison Park to a favour from Harry Kane, things are getting interesting, and today we're going to find out all the details behind the investigation of Manchester City. From a potential point deduction to relegation, let's break down what this means for Arsenal and a title race, as well as a transfer update on Declan Rice. We'll also find out what's happening with the future of following Balogun. Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Babs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. It has been a few days. We have so much to break down. So as per, make sure to go down there, smash a like on the video if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and help your boy on his road to 150,000 subscribers. But let's get straight into the breaking news around the title race. Arsenal are looking to end in a 20-year title drought, but in their way is Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland and Pep Guardiola. City are a team that have always spent money, but after a 4-year investigation, the breaking news from Martin Ziegler, Man City have been charged by the Premier League with numerous breaches of financial rules. This is unprecedented. Over 100 charges to Man City. These guys have been spending money, but seems like illegally. Charges that go back all the way to 2009-10. It all starts off with the appointment of Roberto Mancini. At the time, Man City weren't even a Champions League team. City had to go above and beyond. They made him the highest earning manager in football history. But that's not where the story ends. As Martin Ziegler reports, City were able to effectively double Mancini's wages via a secret contract at an Abu Dhabi club. Mancini was made a consultant at a club also owned by the same owner of Man City, Sheikh Mansour. Extra income out of nowhere. We, my friends, are talking financial fraud. But things get even worse, as reports have also claimed the City have been faking their income, especially from their sponsors. By overstating how much they were actually earning, City were able to spend more than they actually should have. The definition of breaking financial fair play. This is not the first time the City have been accused of financial doping, as back in 2020, UEFA did the same. They banned Man City from the Champions League and handed them a £30 million fine, but at that time Man City were able to appeal it by taking it to the Court of Arbitration of Sports, and in that they were able to find a loophole, as the rules only allowed UEFA to go back a certain amount. This time round it's a different scenario. As Martin Ziegler reports, under Premier League rules, the club would not be able to appeal any sanction to the Court of Arbitration for Sports. This is now over to an independent commission, and if they were to find Man City guilty, cheating the financial rules for over 10 years, the consequences could be severe. From a suspension from playing league matches, to point deductions, recommend for league matches to be replayed, recommend the league expels them, cancel or refuse registration of players, conditional punishments, order the club to pay the cost, and make such other orders as it thinks fit. The rest of the league are going to want consequences. And as Sky Cavalry reports, the feeling around many of the other Premier League sides is they want Man City to be relegated if they are found guilty of charges, and they don't want to change the old league tables. Some members of the Big Six are pushing the hardest for this. If you are a team fighting against Man City, this is the prime opportunity to put City in the mud. Relegation could be a severe consequence, but also one that's possible. If you're an Arsenal fan right now, what are you thinking? Especially in terms of a title race. If City were found guilty in this season, there could be a massive point deduction. That could give Arsenal a Premier League title, but Man City will not go out without a fight. And as Simon Stones reports, on the basis that it's taken the Premier League 4 years to get to this point, do not expect a resolution to this case anytime soon. As Martin Ziegler says, the Premier League case against Man City is likely to take 2 to 4 years to be completed. This will take time, but when you have over 100 charges, there is a very good chance the City are going to face consequences. Their future is now in doubt, and with them being our main rivals in the title race, this could also be massive for the future success of Arsenal Football Club. But what about the future of Pep Guardiola, who said last year during the investigation, "If Man City lied to me the day after, I am not here. I will be out. I will not be their friend anymore. I put my faith in them because I believe them 100% from day one. I defend the club because of that." But since then, in November 2020, Guardiola signed a new 2-year contract. But he is a man full of pride, and if his team is found guilty of cheating for over 10 years, the departure of Pep Guardiola could also be likely. And if you're Mikel Arteta trying to become the new dominant manager who's fighting up against his former mentor, that could be gargantuan. But even in the short term, how does this affect Arsenal in the title race? A lot of things have happened since we last spoke. First, it was Arsenal tasting defeat in the league for the first time since September, as Everton beat Arsenal 1-0. The awful record at Goodison Park continues, where Arsenal have now not won since 2017-18, and Everton thoroughly deserved it. A 1.89 XG to Arsenal 0.88. Everton have now become only the second team this season to beat Arsenal on expected goals. Sean Dyche had a plan, a 4-5-1 formation, and it was disrupting Arsenal's flow. In this game, Arsenal were unable to find a solution, and the defeat was definitely concerning, mainly because of the title race. It gave Man City City the chance to close the gap to just 2 points, but up stepped Tottenham Hotspur, giving Arsenal a North London favour as City were beaten by a Harry Kane goal, and City were also beaten deservedly, with Tottenham's 1.62 XG to City's 0.95. Ultimately, it means Arsenal remain 5 points clear of Man City with a game in hand. But this game is more than just a table. Man City of old against Liverpool always took advantage of slip-ups, but in this game, not starting key first teamers like Ruben Dias, Kevin De Bruyne, the recent departure of Joao Cancelo, and losing to a Spurs side without their manager, they're not quite the team they once were, and this could give Arsenal a psychological advantage. Next up, City have a game up against ex-Arsenal manager Unai Emery. One thing that Arsenal fans know about Unai Emery, in these big games he's able to find the tactics, and having beaten Spurs and Man United, Arsenal fans will be hoping that Mr. Emery could provide us a good evening. But Arsenal's focus is elsewhere, as Brentford come to the Emirates, and this game is before City's, so Arsenal would have a chance to go 8 points clear, but Brentford are a team not to be joked with. They will not be a walk in the park. They're in fantastic form, and have taken points of every single Big Six team, that of course apart from Arsenal. If you're Mikel Arteta now, and the Arsenal players, seeing all that's happening at Man City, the off-the-field investigations, and their on-the-field struggles, it provides you hope, and hope's a dangerous thing, but ultimately it gives Arsenal a tremendous opportunity. This is all setting up for that massive game next week. Arsenal versus Manchester City. The Emirates Stadium is going to be electric, and more importantly, it could be season defining. Talk to me down below in the comments. What are your thoughts on the situation at Man City, and more importantly, are you confident that Arsenal can bounce back and go and win the Premier League title? Moving on to the latest Arsenal news. The return of Gabriel Jesus is getting closer and closer. With 5 goals and 5 assists, the impact of Gabriel Jesus is undeniable. And as Charles Watt confirms, Gabriel Jesus returned to Arsenal yesterday in an important step to his road to recovery. The focus now is still on strengthening the knee in preparation for more and more minutes out on the grass at London Colney. Forget about the crutches, Jesus is on his feet and he is starting to run. Slowly but surely, Jesus is rising. He is on schedule, and it may not be February, but in March and April and the real running of a season, we could have the returning Gabriel Jesus. Now let's talk about Folarin Balogun. On fire for Reims in Ligue 1 with 14 goals. 54% of Reims goals, the highest percentage of goals scored by any single player for any team in Europe's top 5 leagues. Folarin Balogun is carrying his team. He's got them sitting in mid-table, and the Reims fans are simply in love. And likewise is the Reims manager Will Still, who's been so impressed that he asked the club if they could sign Balogun on a permanent transfer in January, but that request was rejected by Arsenal, who have still not decided what to do with Balogun. The chances of Balogun staying at a club like Reims is simply next to nothing. His future is so bright. There will be a lot of teams that want to sign him. And as Fabrizio Romano confirms, 2 Premier League clubs, an Italian club and Borussia Mönchengladbach all wanted to sign Folarin Balogun last July. When you then score 14 league goals, show signs of becoming a top forward, the interest is going to be growing. Arsenal will have a massive decision. With Gabriel Jesus and Eddie Nketiah, where is the space for Folarin Balogun? As Mark Owen reports, the most likely scenario at the moment is that Arsenal will keep Balogun at the club for the first half of next season, but with only 18 months remaining on his contract, they will either have to hand him a lengthy new deal or sell him for maximum profit. Balogun's got a contract until 2025. Previously signed under Mikel Arteta, and one can only imagine with what he's done with Eddie Nketiah, imagine what he could do with Folarin Balogun, who is clearly showing his goal scoring instinct, the technical ability to hold the ball up, and has all of the fundamentals that Mikel Arteta could need to create a top class forward. Reports have claimed the likes of AC Milan have interest in signing Balogun. If you were Arsenal, what would you do? Give Balogun a massive new contract or sell him for a massive amount of money? Moving on to Mikel Arteta, who has just been named the Premier League Manager of the Month for January, the 3rd time that he's won the award this season. But speaking on the January transfer window, he says it was a really tricky one, but I think at the end, it's been a really positive one. I think we had 3 key areas of positions that we wanted to improve and fulfill, and we've done it. With the signings of Jorginho, Trossard and Kiwior, Arsenal have certainly improved their squad. A long-term centre-back in Kiwior, a versatile wide forward with Premier League experience in Trossard, and a decent short-term backup to Thomas Partey in Jorginho. The squad may have been improved, but the long-term goal is to sign more level races, and that is why our summer priority has become West Ham United's Declan Rice, who was on fire against Newcastle, winning 100% of his aerial duels, completing 83% of his passes, 58 touches, 48 passes, winning the ball back 12 times, 6 passes into the final third, 4 passes into the opposition box, 4 duels won, 3 interceptions, 3 tackles made and 1 chance created. This game showcased that Rice is more than just a defensive number 6. He can also get forwards and drive with the ball, but ultimately he is a fantastic duel winner, a player that can cover massive distances, and for an Arsenal number 6, that's very important. We are a very attacking team, and that can leave the number 6 very exposed. For a player like Rice, that will not be a problem, but he's also very special to West Ham, and as David Moyes says, I'm sure the Declan Rice will be a British record transfer plus whenever he leaves West Ham, with Fabrizio confirming that all parties expect Declan Rice to leave in the summer after refusing to sign a new contract 14 months ago. The issue Arsenal have is that Chelsea might have broken the markets, spending over £105 million for Enzo Fernandez, a player with only 6 months of top-level experience. When you then have Declan Rice, 24 years of age, entering his peak, the West Ham club captain, West Ham are going to want a lot of money. But Rice's contract expires in 2024, 1 year left in the summer. Is Declan Rice going to cost over £80 million? But as Agent Clark says, a person that works for Arsenal, I can't reveal my source, but I do know that Declan Rice has been sounding out people connected with Arsenal in regards to what it's really like there, so that sounds like a positive. My concern here is not attraction. Even in January, our main targets in Mudryk and Caicedo favoured a move to Arsenal, but the problem in both of those deals was that Arsenal weren't able to agree a fee, and that's why there's a massive question over the pursuit of Declan Rice. Comment down below how much you truly believe Declan Rice is worth. Moving on to the other Arsenal news today. Arsenal have an amazing academy in Hale End, and they have produced some superstars. Bukayo Saka and Emile Smith-Rowe. The next one could be Miles Lewis-Skelly. 16 years of age, looks so impressive. And according to reports, Miles Lewis-Skelly has committed to Arsenal and will join the intake of new scholars in the summer. Many Arsenal fans would have seen the recent viral clips of Lewis-Skelly driving the ball from his own half and showcasing his crazy potential as a ball-carrying midfielder. But you also have Ethan Nwaneri, who Arsenal fans will remember at 15 years of age, became the youngest player to play in Premier League history, but he's yet to commit his future. And according to reports, Man City and Chelsea are now serious contenders to sign Arsenal star Ethan Nwaneri. Nwaneri has become a man in demand. Until he's 17, Arsenal can't offer him a contract. All they can do is offer him a scholarship on the same wages of every other player, and then it's all over to him. Where does he see best fit for his future? Is it Man City, who might be in the Championship? Chelsea, who signed player after player, with a prime example being Omari Hutchinson, who left Arsenal back in the summer in search of more first-team opportunities. But Chelsea have since signed Mudryk and Madueke, and then you have Arsenal, who have clearly shown there is a pathway to the first team. It's all over to Ethan Nwaneri. It's stat time of the day. This season, Arsenal have become the best team in the league in terms of preventing fast-break counter-attacks. The definition of top transition control, and a key reason behind that is William Saliba, who's won possession in the defensive third at least 11 more times than any other player in the Premier League this season. Saliba is a monster in the defensive third. His recovery speed and dual-winning ability gives Arsenal an aggressive edge. But you also have Gabriel Magalhaes, who has made 6 last-man tackles this season. No player in all of Europe's top 5 leagues has managed more. Saliba gets a lot of praise, and rightly so, but I also believe that Gabriel has become slowly very underrated, especially after missing out on the World Cup. Gabriel's performances have been flawless. But now it's to the future. After their first defeats in September, how are Arsenal going to respond? Well, in terms of Mikel Arteta, as he said, what I told him is today I love them much better than the week before, a month ago and 6 months ago. It is easy to be next to someone that is winning and playing well. It is the moment now that we have to be next to them because they deserve it. When you're winning, everything is rosy. Everyone sees the plan. But it's in these moments where the going gets tough, where the fans and team have to unite. Because after 20 matches, 16 wins, 2 draws and 2 losses, 45 goals scored, 17 conceded, 50 points out of 60 and first place, this Arsenal team has showcased they can be that team. And in a title race, a bump is always inevitable. But what's more important now is how does this Arsenal team bounce back? Because next up we have Brentford at home, then Man City at home, Aston Villa away, Leicester away, Bournemouth at home, and then a Europa League round of 16 first leg. It's over to you guys down below in the comments, and after Arsenal's first defeat since September, what changes do you think we need to make? And do you believe we can bounce back? But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, go down there and smash a like, and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was all of today's latest Arsenal news, and as Man City look in crisis, can Arsenal take advantage and win their first title in nearly 20 years? We're gonna find out, so stay tuned, and I will see you next time. Take care, a bit.